The baby of a powerful millionaire cried for hours in the hospital, and nobody could calm him down, until a quiet black woman stepped forward and said 6 words that made the father turn pale. It was supposed to be the happiest day of his life. Jonathan Cain, a millionaire known for his empire of luxury hotels, had just become a father. Cameras waited outside, news headlines buzzed, and the world expected a picture-perfect story. But inside the private hospital suite, things were far from perfect. His newborn son cried, and cried, and cried. Hours passed. Doctors, nurses, specialists, they tried everything. Milk, medicine, swaddling, nothing worked. The baby's wails grew louder, piercing every corner of the ward. The mother wept, exhausted. The millionaire grew impatient, his face twisted with fear and anger. In the hallway sat Evelyn, a black woman in her late 40s. She wasn't family, she wasn't staff. She was a cleaner, mopping the hospital floors quietly, unnoticed by all. But Evelyn's eyes were sharp. Her own child had once spent weeks in a hospital. She knew the sound of a baby in real pain. She knew this cry wasn't normal. Jonathan Cain hated weakness. His reputation was built on power, wealth, and control. To him, people like Evelyn were invisible. When she gently approached, offering, "Sir, may I look?" he snapped back, "Stay in your place. This is none of your business." But as another hour passed and his child's face turned red from crying, desperation crept in. The doctors looked helpless, and Evelyn. She simply stood there, calm, waiting. Finally, Evelyn walked over, her hands trembling slightly. She looked at the baby, then at the millionaire, and then she said something, just 6 words. "This baby doesn't recognize your scent." The room froze. Jonathan's face went pale. She continued softly, "He's not crying from sickness. He's crying because he doesn't know who you are. You've never held him." The words cut deeper than any knife. For the first time in his powerful life, Jonathan Cain felt powerless. Evelyn lifted the baby gently, rocking him with practiced ease. The cries softened instantly. Nurses gasped. The child nuzzled against her, comforted by warmth and care. Jonathan stood frozen, ashamed. Cameras outside wanted to see a proud father. But inside, he realized a brutal truth. He had been too busy, too proud, too cold to hold his own son. Tears filled his eyes, tears no one had ever seen from the ruthless millionaire. He whispered, "What have I done?" And Evelyn, she didn't scold him. She simply handed the baby over and said, "He needs more than your money. He needs you." That night, Jonathan held his son for the very first time. The baby, once inconsolable, fell asleep in his father's arms. From that moment, something inside Jonathan Cain changed. He reduced his business hours. He donated millions to maternity wards. He built foundations for single mothers and childcare. But more importantly, he became the father his son deserved. And every time he told the story, he admitted, it wasn't the doctors who saved his child. It was a hospital cleaner, a black woman whose wisdom humbled a millionaire. Years later, when his son grew into a healthy young man, Jonathan often said, "He doesn't just have my name. He has Evelyn's strength, too." Because sometimes the most powerful truths don't come from wealth or status. Sometimes they come from the voices no one listens to.